heartfelt oy vey.
Well put.
Brian Carr,
Here.
Beth Lawrence,
Here.
John Saratopoulos,
Absent with notice.
Michael, Matthew Wendorf,
Absent with notice.
Michael Hugo,
Yeah.
and Keith Burns.
Here. Michael, obviously seated tonight. Any addendum?
No.
Okay. Citizens' comments on items not subject to public hearings? Anybody got a comment for the commission that's not on any public hearings?
So for anyone watching from home, I do apologize. We're limited to one camera view for anyone watching from Facebook. We have some technical difficulties. So if anyone has any questions or wants to follow along at home, the packet is on the calendar for the Town of Killingly's website.
Okay, public hearing comments can be emailed to publiccomment@killinglyct.gov or mailed to the Town of Killingly, 172 Main Street, Killingly, Connecticut, 06239. All public comment must be received prior to 2 p.m. the day of the meeting. Public hearing comments received will be posted on the town's website, www.killingly.org. To participate in public hearings, the public may join the meeting via telephone while viewing the meeting on Facebook Live. To join by phone, please dial 1-415-655-0001 and use the access code 2630-113-5857.
This area code 415, I'd swear it's Oakland, California.
It's for the WebEx. It's not a
Ah.
local number.
You're not kidding.
Okay, public hearings continue. Special permit application number 24-1332, Jonathan Bilius, is that right? Bilius Restoration LLC, 82 Putnam Pike, JIS map 106, lot 45.94 acres, general commercial zone, a contractor's business, construction of a 40 by 60 building, 3-bay metal garage for personal and company use, storage of tools and small construction equipment. Zoning regulations 420.2.2, subsection N, contractor's business, section 470, site plan, section 700, special permits. Sir, for the record, introduce yourself.
My name is Paul Archer with Archer Surveying, representing Mr. Vilas, and Mr. Vilas is with us in attendance, so you can ask questions. So we're here for a parcel of land that is just under an acre. Sorry. Just under an acre of land. It was an existing lot of record that used to have a residential home on it. For those who want to know where it is, it's directly across from your town garage. So the lot sits there. It has the lot has an existing well on it. It's also able to tie into the city sewer, so it has public sewer already access to the building. The house is gone, so what Mr. Bilas is trying to do is to just put in a 40 by 60 building in the general commercial zone. And if it was just for residential, we would be able to just go through a site plan, but because we're using it as a commercial is why we're here before you for the public hearing and all that. Now, we got your comments just today from the town engineer. One of his comments was the driveway, what the makeup of the driveway was gonna be. Talk to Mr. Bilas right now. The front portion of it is paved, the apron coming up. The rest of it right now, what he is proposing to use is millings. He would like to put millings down and see how millings hold up. If millings don't hold up, he'll probably end up paving it. But at first, he would like to try to do the millings and see how it works.
What are millings? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Millings are basically like, if you go down the highway and you see them grinding up the asphalt,
Yeah.
shooting in it, that's
Yeah.
the millings. So you can buy the millings, but per the ton, by the truckload, bring them in, put them down and they roll them. They don't hold up as good as asphalt, but they do make a dust-free surface.
So, what's the slope, percent slope? of that
It-
drive?
Under 10%.
It's under 10, but what is it?
Off the top of my head, I don't know.
Go ahead. Sorry.
That's okay. So, and basically, everything pitches down. We're proposing a drainage system off this that's basically gonna collect, which is basically gonna collect all the roof water and to treat the water now, because we're supposedly trying to keep everything on our site that we possibly can. And one of the comments that your engineering staff has was they were looking for the calculations to be used for the size of the stormwater infiltration system. Now, we've done that, but we weren't able to get all that calculations to Dave today due to the fact that we just got this today. So what we would like to propose is make it a condition of approval in that we would have no problem working with the engineers to verify that the calculations that our engineer produced is more than adequate to hold the runoff that's coming off of that building. But other than that, it's a fairly simple, wide in the front, a little narrow in the back. He's trying to put the building, sort of almost in the middle of the lot and make it work. I think it sits in a flat area here, makes it really nice for where the building's gonna go. And it is in the general commercial zone.
So with grindings, are you talking about hot mix at the entrance or the apron?
The apron is already a paved apron.
There's already one there?
Yes. If you can see it here, we got a line here, right here, where the paved apron goes up to. There's an
Oh.
existing paved apron.
Yeah, you can see the little
Yeah.
gray here. I think that might be a paved.
And Mr. Bilas, we've also added into here, what is hours of operation that he's, to use this as for people there. So he's looking at hours Monday, 7 a.m., 4 p.m., Tuesday, 7 a.m., 4 p.m., Wednesday, 7 a.m., 4 p.m., Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to 4 p.m., and nothing on Sunday. Mr. Bilas is also looking to have 2 employees that are gonna work out of that. So there's ample landing so in the back here to house more than enough parking for the 2 employees.
It's hard to define on this drawing.
Would you like a big one?
Oh, here we go.
Anybody else not a big one? I brought a couple
I'm
extras.
trying to just look at the parking that you've got proposed. Oh, the whole back area?
Yes.
So you're not delineating it into parking places?
That's correct.
So what do you have for doors on the back of the building?
Your doors are going on the back?
Yeah, there's 3 14 by 14 and 1 36 by 80 man doors in the left.
And there's one man door.
There's some
for-
architectural drawings in the 11 by 17 photos.
And these?
Yes.
This?
Oh, clearly I didn't see that, but I don't see it. Okay, I got you. So do you have to have like a handicap parking spot for that? It's a commercial place, should be identified, right?
You should have at least one, I would think at least one.
Yeah, I don't know what the law is, but it seems it's a
Yeah.
commercial building, we should have a,
There's ample room for it.
yeah.
But we could designate a spot for it.
So commonly, that would be on like a paved surface or a hard surface, maybe greater than what millings would be. So
Okay.
at least for that, like van spot or.
Gotcha.
And having the access to and from the building, that would accommodate either clients or customers or staff. So just,
Meaning like a slope rather than?
well, it'd have to be a flat area.
Yeah.
ADA is very strict on the pitches.
Yeah, but there's not gonna be like a sidewalk.
No, there should be, if there is, there needs to be an access ramp.
Right, okay.
So no windows in the building at all?
There will be windows, yes.
Tell him so he.
Mr. Byers, come on up here.
Yeah, we don't bite,
That's
at least not today.
I mean, that's showing that there's no windows, so I'm assuming.
They should have put the windows in. I was going to put 2 windows on the front side facing the street.
Street side?
Yes,
Just for the record, your name again?
Jonathan Billius.
Roof gutters,
Yeah, I was gonna put gutters on, yes.
So that's gonna tie it into the same drainage system?
Yeah, that's the main reason for the drainage system, is to handle the runoff from the roof.
And the parking lot will go there too, or?
Correct.
And drainage structures in the driveway at all?
No drainage structures in the driveway.
And
So
this,
what is this?
that's a drainage
Oh, okay.
system. And what's the width of the driveway?
I believe we're looking at 12 feet.
12 feet? And lighting on the building?
It's gonna have a few lights on it, yeah, yes.
So you gotta meet dark sky compliant, there's special
Everything will be
lighting.
down lighting.
Yeah,
Correct.
but it's dark sky compliant, right?
Yes, sir.
And most of the lights would be on the backside here anyways.
So were you planning any fencing on the property at all, or
I wasn't going to.
landscaping?
I did want to neaten up the front. It's looking really rough in the front. I wanted to clean all that up, expose that nice rock wall.
To the north, you don't really have anybody, right?
Correct.
To the south, are you neighboring a property?
There is one residential
Mhm.
house, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right there, right? So buffering for that person,
I left, there's a bunch of trees up there now that are existing.
okay?
They're just not on the drawing. They're not depicted on the drawing as far as buffer. So, well, I didn't raise my hand. Question.
These questions are requirements, so just bear with us. The nature of proposed site, including its size, shape, and proposed size, shape, and arrangement of the structures. You got it on the plan. The resulting traffic patterns, any changes, you gotta go through the state for, no, that's already there, so you don't need a.
It's an existing
Yeah.
driveway.
Nature of the surrounding area, the extent of the proposed, it's commercial across the street, all around the back,
Everything's
two
commercial.
sides is
Yep.
commercial.
Yep.
Except for that one residence, right?
Oh, believe that's still zoned general commercial, but it's just a residential use.
That one house is?
I believe so.
Yeah, okay. That's it. Proximity to churches, dwellings, schools, public buildings, and others, public gatherings, and avoidance of potential nuisance, there won't be a nuisance. Standard contained in these regulations, all standards, so, apply as the records, as the regulations require, and comply with the plan of development of the town of Killenly. Okay. Let me just kind of look at it, good. Meeting all the setbacks, yeah, screening the parking areas, again, the residential, make sure we got screening of some sort. Exterior features, appearance, in harmony with the surrounding area. I don't know what you're gonna come up with to do that, but limitation of size, methods of time of operation, extent of facilities. So you've got the times, okay? Number, design, and location of access drives or other traffic features, including pedestrian walkways. You got any pedestrian walkways? So the whole entire area, you're talking about trying to put grindings down?
Yeah, more so the whole back area.
Correct.
Correct, or the
And
parking.
everything above where the paved apron is?
Correct.
So, for me to define the term of findings, like, is that a solid material?
Grindings. It's like a gravel. It's like a fine gravel.
Yeah, so it can roll around
Yeah,
and wash away.
Initially, it can move, but what happens in the summer, action, the sun melts it,
Okay.
heats it, and it adheres, reattaches
Okay.
itself. Because it's asphalt, so that's the hope anyway.
Correct.
Regulations, number and type of outdoor lighting facilities, so, yeah, we really should have a lighting detail of some sort here, showing the lights on your plan. I think that's it.
And we can work with staff to show that, and put the lightings on there.
Right. Anything else, commissioners?
I don't know if I missed it while I was looking at something, but did you talk about drainage at the bottom of the driveway? I mean, you got, just trying to do a quick calculate, it looks like you're at 10%, maybe slightly over in a couple sections.
Okay.
So I would like that to be addressed, just slope-wise, have you guys measure and put on here what the slope is?
We
It's
can
gonna
do
be
that.
minimum 10, but what are you doing with drainage coming at the bottom of the driveway?
I believe it's gonna just continue to flow as it flows now.
That's not good, potentially. So what are you doing to improve drainage at the bottom of the driveway,
That-
potentially?
that's a
How's that?
different- yeah.
That's a different question, I should ask
I
appropriately.
don't know what you could really do to improve that. You know, it's an
Detention
existing drive.
basin?
What's that?
A detention basin, a leak off in a detention basin?
At the bottom, maybe try to catch it somewhere over in here somewhere, or,
Trench box across the middle of the
I mean-
driveway?
I mean, we could certainly work with them to see what we can do here to try to catch it, maybe somewhere in here and shoot it over into the drainage.
Yeah, I mean, I see you're trying to capture everything on the south side.
Correct.
But everything on the north side looks like it's gonna come down, hit that driveway and keep going, so.
Correct. We're catching,
Um,
most everything we're catching everything coming here.
Right, but everything
and
from the front of the
catching everything
building.
From the roof here, but basically anything from probably somewhere in this area is going that way.
Yeah, looks like everything on the west side of the building, north of the driveway.
Correct.
Is going down, so again, there's some concern there, especially with millings. I mean, 10%, there's gonna be a lot of runoff coming down there. And so concern with A, runoff from the millings, then just be in general, runoff going down and hitting that roadway.
Okay.
So anywhere it's 10% or greater, it's gonna have to be paved.
Right.
Just
We
go
can't do
in there.
that.
Yeah, that's why again, quick measurement, I found 111% section, but again, I'm using an old-fashioned piece of paper as a ruler. So I would like to double check that.
Perfectly scaled paper here.
Yeah. So,
And, yeah, like you said, yeah, 10%
Will be
requires
paved.
asphalt, you know that.
yeah, but those notes will be addressed. Do you address signage? I mean, what is the intent of the commercial use?
Actually wasn't really thinking about signage. I'm kind of more smaller. The two employees, to be honest with you, is myself and one other gentleman. So I don't really have a lot of smaller company. But I wasn't going to put any signs up at this time. I would like to, obviously, maybe on the side facing the street, but I haven't actually thought about that.
Yeah, it just needs to be referenced on the drawings to make sure you meet the signage requirements. So if you, again, you want one, I would recommend you throw it on the drawings. You don't have to put it there, but it's
Absolutely.
be part of the site plan, right? Especially if there's anything down the bottom, advertising your business,
Absolutely.
you know, to come up, stuff like that. The parking was one of the comments, lighting, updated architecturals, because it's different than what's presented here. So,
Yeah, I mean, if you don't do signs now, you're gonna have to come back for a permit to do signs.
So the signage, you'd be limited to 10%, and that's, under the regs, it's covered by, site plan. I mean, sorry, covered by a zoning permit only. So if the use is approved and you build it and then a year or two later, you wanna come back and do signage on the outside, it's a zoning permit only.
Right.
Yep.
But it's a permit, so you
It's
get
It's
the-
still a permit, yeah. So it's usually a question that I ask, if you were approved, then we come in at zoning permit. We would definitely be looking at it, but it would not be exceeding 10% of the facade of the front.
Anything else, commissioners?
just follow up. So again, what type of business?
So I do restoration, we do small mold remediation. I would say maybe 70% of my business is also interior demolition. But mold remediation, small fit outs, and interior demolition.
Okay, so as far as materials and stuff stored inside the building is just general, what?
I have a 19-foot scissor lift, a 26-foot scissor lift, 5.5-ton mini excavator, and then hand tools, mold stuff, plastic.
Okay.
Chemicals, storage of any?
The
hazardous?
only chemicals I'd have is disinfectants, which is Shockwave or IQ. It's a hospital-grade disinfectant. Other than that, no chemicals. I don't do any snow plowing, salting, anything like that.
Okay. And as far as the sewer connection, you said it was disconnected.
It was disconnected.
Is there any approval necessary for the reconnection of a sewer for general commercial business versus a residential that was there?
There would be a connection, he would have to get a connection to hook it back up, yes.
Yep. Do you need approval from the sewer department to say you can accept that?
I would assume that it's there, that I think we would just have to go down there and apply for a connection fee.
Dave didn't make that comment, so normally Dave would indicate if there was a connection fee.
Yep.
But I would suggest that they follow up with town engineer.
They did come out and mark it and locate it. They did give me a piece of paper locating where it was and where it stubbed up in the ground.
Yep. I'm just asking for as part of the permit to make sure you have a sewer connection, approved sewer connection, 'cause it's not, it's going from residential to commercial. 'Cause I believe it was an old trailer or something in that area, right?
Yeah, there's a actually, it's a 6-inch main that stubs up currently.
Yep. So,
Anybody else? Mike? There you go.
No.
Anne Marie? I'm sorry, I already said it.
Just one quick question that I would like to know. If he's if he stores anything outside, I just want to make him aware that he will need to use a fence. Because the contractor's yard will need to be fenced in.
Yes.
Question, would demolition debris be brought back to the site ever, or dumpsters stored on site?
No, the only thing perhaps maybe some precious metals, maybe small copper, something like that, but not much at all. no.
Like in an enclosed storage
No,
area?
that we
or-
brought inside the garage and cut it up.
Okay.
Into barrels. The biggest I'd have had 55-gallon barrels full.
And then for regular waste, like trash
No.
bins or? No, for the business
Oh,
itself.
for the
like-
big, I did have at one point, I had CWPM, they had a 4-yard dumpster down below, I would say maybe like 6 months ago, but I wasn't really utilizing it as much, so I haven't pulled that off. But I will be probably maybe getting one back there, maybe putting a 4-yarder.
Okay, so it would be limited to being behind the leading edge of the building,
Okay.
under the town ordinance for the storage of the dumpster, unless you, for some reason, the site needs a waiver. There's a waiver provision with the town manager. The 4-yard dumpster, I'll leave that up to commission, whether or not you would want like a screened area, or that's up to you guys. Being it's general commercial.
yeah, I would just show it on the site plan, dumpster location, so we all know it's behind the building on the east side.
Anything else? Anybody else? Nothing? What's that? One more time, Mike, Berger, Brian?
No, I think there's a list of items he needs to bring back and address
Okay.
as far as site plan.
So this is going to be a continuation then?
That's up to the commission, I just
Okay,
said there's a
that's
bunch of
what I'm
things. I mean,
So everybody got a motion to do anything, or you want to just continue it, or what?
Well,
I-
does it need to be continued?
I'd make a motion to continue the public hearing to allow the applicant to address probably the 10 or so items that we brought up that need to be shown on the site plan.
Okay,
And
I'll
comment
second
to
that.
Motion, second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions? So you have to come back with the adjustments.
We'll do that. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I just make a clarification that that's continued to next month's meeting, which is June 17th?
Okay.
Also, point of clarification, were we allowing anyone from the audience to speak to the application that
Oh,
we're
yeah,
here?
I'm sorry.
For the
Anybody
public
from the
hearing?
audience want to speak to this application? Okay, I apologize. Missed that one. But we didn't close the public hearing, so it could happen.
Yeah, it's still continued.
All right. Unfinished business continued. New business, site plan review, application 24-1333.
Okay,
What? I'm gonna read it.
go ahead.
Carmen Bucci.
Brian, I was gonna.
Well, I wanted you to know it's Bucci.
Cameron Bucci, Lorena Petrillo landowner, 817-827 Providence Pike, GIS map 211, lots 35 and 34, 1.5 acres, village commercial for a metal fabrication and welding shop. Turn the existing brick building into office space and construct an 80 by 40 metal building behind the existing structure. Site plan review.
Mr. Chairman, when we were looking at this application, we realized that he needs to go before the inland wetlands and watercourses. And I had him sign a note saying that as of May 9th, 2024, I was informed there may be wetlands on the property, and therefore I will be submitting an application to IWWC. I understand Planning and Zoning Commission cannot take action until the wetlands issue is resolved, and it's Cameron Bucci, May 9th, 2024. So you can do this one of two ways. You can give him an extension for the 65-day extension, which you're allowed to do. And then towards the end of the 65 days, he can have the, if wetlands for some reason still hasn't decided or whatever, you still have the right to go beyond. Once the wetland decides, you have 1 month after that.
To start our proceedings, not wrap it all up.
Right, well, you're supposed to make your decision within the 35 days. So, again, you can grant him the 65-day, we can watch the Wetlands Commission, see if it's coming in time, or if he needs to withdraw without prejudice and be allowed to come back.
And have the full tilt boogie amount of time to have his application.
Mhm.
That's-
Or we can just hand it over to you if we wanted, as a site plan review.
True.
And where is this?
This is the old Kickapoo Pizza.
Oh, okay, okay,
Like way in the woods?
yeah.
No,
No, sorry.
No, not Pick in the
Yeah.
Woods, the one up past the firehouse on Route 6.
Route 6.
Oh, okay.
Route 6, sorry, I said the wrong name.
Yeah.
They're all the same pizza.
No, it was Kickapoo there too.
It was
Yeah, it was
Kickapoo?
Kickapoo.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one with the bear in front on Route 6.
Yeah, right after the fire.
Um,
Any preferences from the commission? Ma'am? Well, it's site plan review, so we could just pass it off to the staff to handle site plan review. Do the commission members have a preference for what they would like to do? Michael?
I think whatever gives the applicant the most latitude in terms of timing. I don't,
Well, it all depends on if they have enough quorum for in the wetlands, that's all. Sir?
So wetlands, we do definitely have a quorum. We have a full commission. We don't have a wetlands application yet. There is the provision that a decision by the Wetlands Commission prior to you guys rendering decision for a site plan, but I think there's also a provision in terms of the time where they submit the application. So
They're supposed to submit the application to the wetlands the same day that they submit the application to a
Yeah.
Planning and Zoning Commission.
So I think the absolute most latitude would be that they withdraw, but that's up to the commission.
That they withdraw?
Or you deny without prejudice, it may be with the instruction to refund them, because we haven't really invested time into it, but ultimately, if, between getting a surveyor, getting the wetlands delineated and everything like
So
that.
they haven't
The
done any of that
65,
yet.
the 65 days is
We're
going to be
not a-
awful tight.
Yeah, we haven't been made aware of any of that work.
You need to have him give us a letter that he withdraw, or you just gonna?
You could deny
can-
without prejudice, yeah, it's up to you.
Or you could, well, yeah.
Somebody
Or you
wanna-
can just instruct, say that he needs to withdraw, and we'd allow him to withdraw without
yeah,
prejudice.
I know that the phrase deny without prejudice sounds, is good, but it doesn't sound good.
You can
the word
allow- what
prejudice
you-
is in there,
Yeah.
so,
What could be done is that a motion could be made to allow him to withdraw
yes.
without prejudice, which would allow him to resubmit an application once he has submitted his wetlands application.
that's
Or
what
to
I-
reactivate this
That's your
application.
That's what she said.
Do I have a second? Second by Michael. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? So be it. Adoption of minutes, workshop meeting minutes, April 15th. Motion?
Make a motion to approve?
Second?
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstentions? You abstain. Regular meeting minutes, April 15th, 2024. Make a motion, somebody?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Abstention, 1. Miscellaneous continuation of workshop. Brian was thinking that we might want to have a second one in the middle someplace,
The middle of what?
between this meeting and the next meeting.
Oh.
I just threw out whether or not we were in any sort of urgency, but I mean, if we got 3 sections to go through and we're gonna do half a section a month, it's gonna take a while. So
Yeah.
I didn't know if we should do every 2 weeks, just have a
Mhm.
special meeting for an hour, kind of work threw pieces of it, if it made sense. I just threw
Would
out
you
the
want to
commission.
jump to one of the other sections, like with the purpose, of the special meeting?
No, because I think what happens, I think 30 days goes by, we forget where we were. So I think if we did 2 weeks from now, I'd pick that section right up again.
Okay.
Finish it, get it done with, then go to the next section. Then if we didn't finish it, 2 weeks after that, we go, go back to it. But I just threw out to the commission if we wanted to get through these.
I'm not opposed to it.
I know on June 3rd, Monday, June 3rd, because I know you like to stay with Mondays, it's going to be busy because they have another town meeting, right, for the budget, and.
And wetlands.
In wetlands. So we'd have to go to June 10th, which would leave us
Well,
one
why don't
week.
we do Wednesday instead?
If you want to do Wednesdays are usually, I can double check. We can try to do Wednesday the 5th, because it's community gardens, and I don't know if the Board of Ed has a meeting that night on June 5th. I can double check. But if they're in here, we can go down to room 10, well,
Fifth or
community
sixth?
gardens go at the gardens, so we can go to room 102, if that meets with everybody.
Fifth or,
Okay.
5th or 6th? What?
Whatever, let's just go with the flow.
Either one, 5th or 6th. Any objection, Brian?
So
No, depending
it'd
on
be
where we're
Wednesday,
You'll
June.
be in Ohio.
I'll be in
anyway.
Ohio anyways. I'll throw it out there, screw you guys.
Summertime.
So June 5th, or that'd be Wednesday or Thursday, June 6th.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I will check with those days and get back to everybody, let
June-
everybody
what-
I
know.
mean, if
days?
it's a special meeting, you could do an hour and a half too, maybe.
The 5th, there's community garden, which would be in 102.
Well, community garden will be at the garden.
Oh, yeah, because it's summer. Yeah,
It's
that's
summer,
true.
so they'll be at the
And they meet
garden.
at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Permanent building committee is in the town meeting room, so we would be in 102 if we did the 5th, assuming there's not a budget
And
thing
and
or
we'd only
something.
have one item on the, or whatever we're,
It'd be a special meeting just for the workshop.
Just for the
Right.
workshop, and we'll limit it down to the planned residential development.
okay.
And we can meet early too, right?
If we want to, yes.
Yeah.
8
People's
a.m. works for
schedules,
me.
5:30, 6.
Oh,
I mean,
5:30, sure.
I work in my house now, so I have to drive.
It's all about you, Brian.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I was usually one that had to do it at 6 because I had to come from
Okay.
Boston, so.
So what time would you like to meet? Give me a time, people.
5:30 is fine, but I'm gonna need a reminder.
5:30?
5:30, June 5th,
Yeah.
I'm
we'll
gonna
go
just-
to- We'll go to, what?
and that's a
7:30,
Wednesday.
7? We'll go to potentially up to an hour and a half unless it gets cranky and then we'll quit early.
So it goes 5:30 to 7.
If it's nice out and everybody wants to leave, we'll leave early.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to tell my husband that he's gonna have to take his pickup truck to his office because he stays there late on Mondays. And so I get to have.
This would be a
to-
Wednesday.
This is
Oh,
a
Wednesday, okay, then it's fine.
This will be Wednesday, June 5th.
Okay.
Wednesday. Oh, my God.
Wednesday, June 5th at 5:30, and we'll be in room 102. Unless otherwise stated.
Okay. We just did that, workshop schedule.
Okay?
Correspondent zoning practice, zoning enforcement, and you got any reports, sir?
Not necessarily. ZBA did not meet last month. However, I hope I'm not taking too much of the council stuff here, but we did get a new member appointed, Jared Peachy. I watched his interview, read through his application. I have not met the gentleman yet as a regular member.
What, here?
For ZBA.
Oh,
Yep. So he seems, at least read through and listen to his interview, he seemed like he'd be a good fit. So I'm happy that he was appointed. We've been at the minimum for quorum for ZBA for years. So it's nice to have the extra member. It looks like we are potentially having 1 to 2 applications for setback variances for residential items, a garage and a carport, assuming those individuals get their applications in time. So stay tuned whether or not there'll be an agenda for it.
Economic Development.
The Economic Development Commission met, and they are planning a joint workshop with the Board of Ed in the fall to talk about shared interests and concerns. The town of Killingly was awarded the Technical Assistance Brownfield Support Community Engagement Platform grant for another year.
What do those words in a group mean?
UConn has it's student and professor-led project management. So, for example, they can help with document retrieval and state and federal databases. They can talk about helping us craft posters, educating the community about what a brownfield is. So it's a new program. 2 communities in New England were awarded, Killingly and Caribou, Maine. So they're a great resource that we can tap into. The KBA Beautification Committee met. There's a lot of work being done in the spring. They painted the side of the Grange. They volunteered and planted all the Main Street planters. They prepped the mural wall, and on June 8th, they'll be tackling the rain gardens on Main Street. Ribbon cuttings, upcoming ribbon cuttings, Girls with Tools is on the 23rd at noon. Joyce Ritchie Pavilion ribbon cutting will be on June 1st, and the former Tunk City location, the complex from Putnam, is opening a second location in that space. That's all I have to report.
Town Council?
I believe Joyce Ritchie's is at 11:30.
Okay, from the May 14th Town Council meeting, there was a bond issuance of $10 million. We have a AA+ rating, and it will reduce in interest savings to $9,385,000. Southern Connecticut TV Studies will give free airway of YouTube videos of town meetings on, so there will be more visibility instead of YouTube, because it's all free. We have information on the homeowners program for elderly and the homeowners freeze program in regards to income and percent of freezing the taxes. The Rivertail Phase 4 project is beginning, and it should be concluded in early fall. The Chase Reservoir Forestry Management update. The dead trees are just going to be downed. There's an area that where the ash trees can be taken down and sold, but they have emerald ash beetles, so I believe they have 6 months to get those trees processed before they lose value. The Reynolds Street project reconstruction retaining wall is going well, and once it's finished, that will be a one-way street. The wastewater treatment is capacity analysis and its future effects on the planning and zoning. The treatment capacity is almost pretty much full, but not the water capacity. The Westfield Avenue renovation Phase 2 is on time. There will be discussion, continued discussion of a vision committee on June 11th of where we would like Killing to go. And there, the Red Cross would like to have a multi-jurisdictional shelter, regional emergency shelter at the Plainfield High School, and it will be staffed by the Red Cross. Killingly does have a emergency shelter, so we did vote to go along with that shelter, but we do have 90 days if we want to go back on the agreement. And that is it. Oh, there's a meeting tomorrow at 7 o'clock here in the town meeting room regarding the budget. Both budgets failed too high, so we'll have discussion tomorrow if anybody wants to attend. And the town vote was it June 11th, Ed? Where did I have that? Yeah, June 11th, machine vote. And, that's it.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second? All in favor? Aye, abstain, good night, everybody. Thank you.
Right.